Hey guys, Sergeant JDOG here and welcome back to the channel. Okay, so this episode I'm going to be covering pretty much how to master long-range sniping and then implementing it into a aggressive gameplay style. So this is basically giving you the insight and ability to take the long-range shots that you wish. Like everyone likes to get a nice 900 meter plus headshot, but at the same time, if you do want to assume an effective aggressive role as a recon, you also need to be playing the objective. So this is a topic that a lot of people have actually requested I do a tutorial on, so here it goes. Okay, so first of all, when you are taking your long-range shots, the first thing I would recommend is to choose a weapon and an optic that you feel most comfortable with. Mine is the SRR91 and I use an 8x optic, but I also mirror my loadout for all of the different bolt actions that I use. So you can either use a 6x scope, 7x scope, 8x scope, 12x scope, doesn't matter, whatever you feel most comfortable with. But what I would recommend is sticking with the one. Replicating that set out on each of your bolt actions and grabbing a piece of paper. Okay, this may sound a little bit weird, but pretty much what you want to do is draw whatever optic it is that you have chosen. So for instance, mine is the 8x optic, and draw the scope with the mil dots and pretty much grab your PLD, work out your range. So select a bunch of different targets and then just practice trying to see where the bullet hits, like where the bullet lands, and note it down when you actually do get a direct hit, and cover that range from, let's say, 100 to 700, 900 meters, whatever distance it is that you actually want to attain. And I would recommend starting off on something like the M40A5 or the SV98. But as you can see here, the loadout I've got is green laser sight, straight pull bolt, and 8x scope. So nothing too crazy, and it does the job really well. The SV98 is also a very good rifle to start off on because it has a very fast rechamber time and you've got about 11 rounds in the mag. Okay, so here I am on the test range and I am just using the PLD to work out the different ranges and the perspective of the ranges of like in reference to distance of different targets. So here we're looking at about 215 meters and the building on the side is about 164. Okay, so to practice, use a bipod and just choose a target. So for this one, it's the back shed, and we're going to be trying to get our first shot straight into the cockpit once we've worked out our range. So we've seen that the drop's gone, you know, just a little bit, let's say about 4 mil, so we'll aim up a little bit, straight into the cockpit. And so we at least now know that that distance, so let's say about halfway between the center and the first mil dot, is basically 200 meters. So we'll write that down on the piece of paper. So here we have the SV98 just to demonstrate the difference in bullet drop. So we'll be doing the exact same calculations here. So the bullet drop is a little bit more significant. So I'll say that 215 is about right on the first mil dot. And you can pretty much do this with any bolt action that you choose. And what I would recommend is get your initial settings, and then whilst you're practicing your long range, go over to the target range and practice your drag shots. To do this, basically it's a pretty simple thing to do, but basically all you need to do is start with your reticle off target and then practice the distance it takes to actually draw straight up to the head. Each shot that you do want to take and each kill that you do want to get as a recon should be a headshot. And one thing I would say is start off slow and pretty much don't hit that trigger until you know the reticle is directly on the head. And gradually just speed up the process and give yourself some awkward angles. I have a preferred side to actually shoot from, which is the lower right and then upwards. A lot of people have different preferences, also depending on whether they're right-handed or left-handed. But doing this habitually and actually practicing it, you will notice a massive improvement within, I don't know, the first 2 rounds, and you will be landing all the shots that you've previously been missing. So yeah guys, I hope just these pointers gave you a little bit more of a, I don't know, insight as to how to improve your gameplay, because if you can pretty much master these basics, you won't have any dramas and you will be easily topping the servers just within a few days. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask. I am always happy to reply and make a response video for any of you guys, and I pretty much play every single class, and I'm happy to give you guys as much information as you require to make you as good as the game as possible. And yeah guys, so I think that's about it. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask, and I will see you in the next video. Take care guys.